This wasn't just rap beef. This was labels, cities, and lives on the line. Before Twitter, before Instagram, West Coast hip-hop went to war with the East End. Not everyone survived. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most explosive periods in music history. Forget simple deceit. We're talking about a conflict that involved media moguls, record label giants, intense egos, and tragically, real-world violence. It pitted the sun-soaked streets of California against the concrete jungle of New York, and it changed hip-hop forever. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how every major West Coast label's beef ended peacefully or tragically. So grab your headphones, because we're turning back the clock. It all starts with our first and most infamous showdown. Death Row Records versus Bad Boy Entertainment. The flashpoint was the 1995 Source Awards. Suge Knight got on stage and took a direct shot at Bad Boy's CEO, Sean Puffy Combs, inviting artists to come to a label where the executive producer was all in the videos, all on the records, dancing. This single moment lit a fuse that would burn for years. The beef reached its absolute peak with Tupac's legendary diss track, Hit Em Up, a song so vicious and personal it left no room for retreat. The ending was the most tragic in hip-hop history, with both Tupac and the notorious B.I.G. losing their lives. The ultimate takeaway. When business beef turns personal, nobody truly wins. But before Death Row and Bad Boy, another battle was brewing. Let's talk about Ruthless Records versus the entire East Coast industry. See, back then, the West Coast was often seen as a secondary market. NWA changed that, but the East Coast establishment still wasn't giving them their full respect. This tension boiled over when Bronx rapper Tim Dogg dropped Fuck Compton, a direct attack on the West Coast. SEENE, Dr. Dre, and Snoop Dogg fired back with a classic, Fuck Wit, Dre Day. A track that not only defended their city, but also took aim at their former NWA bandmate Eazy-E. This internal and external conflict marked the end of an era. The ruthless empire began to crumble, and the beef only truly faded after Eazy's tragic passing from AIDS. The lesson here is clear. The West Coast had to fight tooth and nail for respect before it could rule the charts. While some wars ended in tragedy, others found a path to peace. Take Lynch Mob Records, Ice Cube's powerhouse label. After leaving NWA, Cube established himself as a force of nature. On the Mac 10 track, Bow Down, from the West Side Connection album, Cube and his crew declared West Coast supremacy in no uncertain terms. This drew the ire of East Coast purists, including a young, talented rapper from Chicago named Common, who felt they were disrespecting the roots of hip-hop. The two traded diss tracks, but then something remarkable happened. Louis Farrakhan of the Nation of Islam brokered a peace summit between them. They met, talked, and found common ground. The beef ended with a handshake and mutual respect. This showed everyone that while lyrics can definitely start wars, they can also be the key to ending them. Now, let's look at Hubangin Records, founded by West Side Connection's Mac 10. While his beef wasn't with a single artist, he took aim at a broader target. The New York-centric media and critics who he felt consistently overlooked or disrespected West Coast artists. He was vocal and unapologetic, representing a specific, hardened LA sound that didn't always get love from the East Coast press. But unlike other conflicts, this one didn't have a climactic battle or a tragic end. Instead, the beef just sort of faded away with time. As the music landscape shifted and new artists and sounds emerged, the intense regional focus softened. The war ended simply because the crowd and the media moved on to the next big thing. Sometimes, all it takes is a phone call. That's the story of Sick-Witted Records, the Bay Area empire built by the legendary E40. During the height of the coastal tensions, a magazine printed a fake quote, attributing a disrespectful comment about the notorious B.I.G. to E40. In that volatile climate, something like that could have easily escalated into serious violence. But Dospak, who was close with E40, knew it sounded out of character. He got Biggie on the phone, who then called E40 directly to clear the air. In one conversation, they realized it was a misunderstanding fueled by outside forces. They squashed it immediately. It's a powerful lesson. In an era before DIMS and instant fact checking, Direct communication literally saved lives. Speaking of Tupac, let's revisit his crew, Outlaw Records. After Pac signed with Death Row, he didn't just bring his talent. He brought an army. The Outlaws were his loyal soldiers, and their threats on tracks like Hit 'Em Up were taken very seriously. They echoed Pac's every word, amplifying the danger and making the beef feel like a true gang conflict, not just a musical one. But after Tupac's death, everything changed. The movement's central figure was gone. Without their leader, the war lost its general. The Outlaws declared a ceasefire, recognizing that continuing the fight without Pac was pointless. It's a stark reminder that movements, no matter how powerful, often collapse when their leaders fall. What about Snoop Dogg? His journey shows a different path. Growth. Early in the beef, Snoop was right in the middle of it. The video for his track with Thaw Dog Pound, New York, New York, was a massive provocation. It featured the West Coast rappers stomping through Times Square like Godzilla, symbolically crushing the city. The East Coast was furious. This act poured gasoline on an already raging fire. But years later, after the immense loss the culture had suffered, Snoop's perspective shifted. He famously appeared on stage with his former rival, Puffy, publicly calling for peace and unity. He chose to move past the old drama, proving that real growth looks like choosing peace over pride. And what about the man who started it all with NWA and then helped end the war, Dr. Dre? After leaving the chaos of Death Row, he founded Aftermath Entertainment with a clear mission to rise above the conflict. He brought together artists from both coasts for the track East Coast, West Coast Killers, a powerful call for unity that featured Nas, a New York giant. This was Dre declaring the war was over. He then went on to build a new empire, launching the career of a white rapper from Detroit named Eminem, and changing the entire music industry once again. Dre showed everyone that building a legacy is far more important than winning a beef. Even long after the 90s, the echoes of beef remained. Look at Black Wall Street Records, founded by the game. In the mid-2000s, he was embroiled in one of hip-hop's longest and most bitter feuds, with 50 Cent and G. The conflict was intense, spilling from records into real-life confrontations. It lasted for over a decade, a symbol of how deep these divisions could run. But then, in 2016, the impossible happened. The two were seen together, shaking hands. While the friendship never fully returned to what it was, the handshake signaled an end to the hostilities. It was proof that even decade-long beefs, fueled by ego and industry politics, can eventually find a resolution. Finally, let's pull back the curtain and talk about the silent power player. Priority Records. They weren't a face or a voice in the beef, but they were the engine behind much of it. As a distributor, they released iconic records from both sides, including NWA's Straight Outta Compton and Ice Cube's early solo albums. They profited from the controversy and the conflict, acting as a corporate entity that facilitated the chaos without ever getting blood on its hands. And what was the end for them? They were eventually acquired and absorbed into a larger corporation. The beef faded, the artists paid a heavy price, but the corporate structure that profited from it all just survived. It's a sobering reminder that often corporations outlast the artists who build them. The East Coast-West Coast war didn't end because one side won. It ended because hip-hop itself almost lost everything. The culture was forced to look in the mirror and confront the devastating cost of its own civil war. From the ashes, a crucial lesson was learned, one that echoes to this day. Peace sells, and it sells a whole lot longer than beef. If this history taught you something new, do me a favor and hit that like button. Drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe for more deep dives into music history. Which beef do you think went too far? Let me know below. Thanks for watching.